Hey, very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you could join us here for some Friday Night Football on PennLive.com, brought to you by our friends at Constellation Energy up here in the booth, the Crow's Nest, whatever you want to call it. Bruce Badgley, John Wanger, myself, PJ Rydell. Glad to be joining you here from Camp Hill. The Trinity Shamrocks playing host to the Middletown Blue Raiders here tonight. The final week of the regular season already. It feels like it flew right on by. We've got two teams in two kind of different situations, but both vying for some playoff positions. And we got Trinity coming in here trying to clinch a bye, trying to really put themselves in good position for District 3. And you got Middletown really kind of needing a win to stay in this thing after getting hot at just the right time.
Yeah, that's an amazing, I think, story about what Coach Ortiz and this group of Middletown players has done. I mean, they lost 3 games in a row. They're really down. All of a sudden, 2 wins in a row. They've righted the ship. If they win tonight, they're in the postseason, and that's quite an accomplishment for these guys.
And again, they're going in with momentum, too. As you mentioned, there were 3 straight losses, and then they were able to pick up those big 2 here in the last 2 weeks to put themselves in position to make some noise here tonight against the Trinity Shamrocks. 5-2 in the league are the Trinity Shamrocks, 6-3 overall. 4-3 in league play is Middletown. They are 5-4 overall, but as we mentioned, warming up at the right time. For Trinity, they also had a pretty hot stretch for a while there. They won 6 consecutive games from September 5th to a big win on October 10th against West Perry. And as we talked about it in the pregame, Bruce, or before we were on the air anyway, that West Perry game, that really was their signature win, putting them in good position, not just in the conference, but in District 3 power rankings. So let's get ready for tonight's game here again from Camp Hill on PennLive.com. Glad you could spend your Friday night with us. That fall chill in the air certainly does feel like football season. Certainly feels like we're getting ready for the playoffs next week. The Shamrocks in their all-green uniforms, white socks and white helmets. The Middletown Blue Raiders here on enemy turf in their all-white uniforms, the yellow helmets, and some blue sleeves, some white sleeves, some different variety out there on this cool night. Several guys just going with the shorts and short sleeves, not bothered at all by the cooler temperatures.
Yeah, there was a time that, it was a badge of honor to not wear sleeves regardless of how cold it was. So a little change in that regard.
Yeah, a little bit of a muff kick, a little grounder, and maintain possession did the Shamrocks.
Oh, my goodness, right on the opening drive, opening play.
Yeah, they managed to keep possession right there at the 40-yard line. And how about jumping right into the bag of tricks for the Shamrocks? They'll start with possession after kicking the ball off. Boy, sending a message of these Shamrocks.
They won that first round bye. They won it. Get a break and get a home ball marked down at the 42-yard line. The Middletown 42-yard line.
To start for the Shamrock offense. By quarterback Mason Boyer, got a handful of other weapons there. Neither of these teams necessarily teams that'll really knock your socks off in terms of offensive production, but they certainly can find different ways to win. Both of these squads, Marcus Yeager, a big part of the offense as well for the Shamrocks.
2nd and 9.
But of course, you certainly got some defensive standouts on the Middletown side of things. I think of George Hartwick, who we've seen come up big several times this season for the Blue Raiders, and his defense put in a tougher spot to open up this game. Glad you could join us on PennLive.com. Just underway, 30 seconds into this game. 2nd and 9 from the 41-yard line. The Shamrocks with the first offensive possession after maintaining possession on the kickoff. A little onside kick action to start the game. So 2nd and 9 from the 41. Boyer stepping back with it, looking downfield. Tries to roll right, and right there, the defense wraps him on up.
Number 65.
That was 60. Avery Waits. Just a great job there on that defensive stop.
It'll be 3rd.
So going backwards is the Shamrock offense, despite starting off with a bit of a trick play. It's back to the 48-yard line, still on the Middletown side of the field. 3rd down and 16. 3rd and very long in this first offensive set for the Shamrocks. On 3rd and long, Boyer.
I love the eliminated down marker, yeah.
That is extremely helpful. A good visibility here at this field. Always enjoy coming here to Camp Hill. Cobo Field. 3rd and 16. Boyer airs it out down the middle, trying to find his target. Right up the middle there would have been Caleb Klepes, but not quite able to connect. And so a promising start to the game for the Shamrock offense. Peters right on out at about the 50-yard line.
And that's got to buoy, the Middletown team as well. They get surprised right off the bat to come back and force a 3 and out. I think that just gives some added confidence to that Blue Raider team.
Yeah, again, certainly these Blue Raiders feeling a bit of a hot stretch. Again, not a team that will offensively knock your socks off either, but this time the punt high in the air, fielded at about the 15-yard line, but muffed and coming up with it, but brought down at the 5-yard line. A tough play there for Middletown's Genesiah Ross.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes these return guys, kind of panic, and he didn't necessarily need to pick that up. He could have just fell on it there. But still, he recovered it, and Middletown, though, back deep in their own territory to start their first drive.
So most certainly not favorable position on the field here at 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line for the Middletown offense. Getting our first look at them here tonight, led by quarterback Harrison Ortiz. Really burst onto the scene last year in his freshman season and trying to will his team into playoff contention here at the end of his sophomore campaign.
Luis Roman on the carry.
Yeah, Roman, I think, is really going to be an important part of this game. He didn't get a lot there, but I think the Blue Raiders have to establish a ground game to give Ortiz some time in the pocket there. We saw the last time we saw Middletown was against Susquehanna Township. Township throttled that running game, and Ortiz just got hammered in the pocket as he did there. Oh, my.
Yeah, just did not have much time to work with. And there's that Trinity line giving them a little bit of trouble there themselves. And
3rd and 10.
That was kind of one of the concerns coming into this game. After what we've seen this season, would Middletown and their line be able to give Ortiz enough time here? And here in this first set, not particularly promising just yet, as it's 3rd and 10 coming up still from the 6-yard line. No progress and not going backwards either for the Blue Raider offense in their first set. 9:23 to go here, still early in the first quarter.
Roman to his right there, kind of a funky set.
Yeah, flag
and
flies
a flag,
there as guys move. And
I think that may have been offsides, maybe.
Well, Middletown clapping seemed to think that they managed to get Trinity to trip up, and they did. So whatever it takes to move forward, the Blue Raiders will take it. With the offsides call, as you called it, Bruce, it would be 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10 from their own 6. It's now their own 11.
They've got this bunch formation in the right side, and it looks like this is going to shift to the left.
Once again, they do another shift. This time, Trinity managing to stay on side amidst the move. Now 3rd and 5. Fake the rush there, and now all the way, nobody in front of him. How about a big play touchdown here for Nikias Zenon?
Everybody's paying attention to the left side, and the isolated receiver beats his man, and he is gone. That is a great play call. You get the defense looking one way, you throw it back the other. Touchdown, Middletown.
Now there was a flag thrown down at about the 32-yard line, but it doesn't look like that's going to matter.
Sideline warning.
It was just a sideline warning, so it doesn't matter.
The touchdown will stand. Number 33, Mitchell Mistevich.
So what an explosive play there on their first successful reception, taking it all the way to the house.
Wow, that sure got everybody fired up. And, we're on the visiting sideline here. This is kind of a unique configuration here at Cobo Field, where the press box is actually on the visiting side.
Well, when you say we're on the visitor sideline, I mean, it feels like we are on the sideline. We are right on top of it here. But, again, that makes for a good vantage point here at Trinity. Always enjoy doing games here, whether it's football, lacrosse, or.
Middletown 7, Shamrocks 0.
And so with the successful kick, it is a early 7-0 lead for the home team.
Wow, how about that? I mean, incredible start to this game. I mean, just look at it. You know, Middletown, they get caught with their pants down on the opening kickoff. They muff a punt deep into their own end. What do? They take it all the way for a score. What a great turnaround for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad start for their the Trinity defense, at least. They held them pretty strong, but they just gave up one big play. That's all it takes, 7-0. And certainly the way Middletown's defense played that first drive, any score you can get here might be a big difference maker in this game.
Well, I can't say enough about that play call, how they bunched everybody to one side and then left the lone receiver by himself, mano a mano, on the other side, and just a quick slant, and he was gone. That was great.
And Zenon did a really nice job on the play, too, because the pass led him a little bit, but he was able to keep his feet. He was able to hang on to the ball. For a second, it looked like he was going to pop out, but he was able to take control, and there was nobody in front of him to stop him.
Breakaway speed was really impressive as well.
Yeah, 7-0 Middletown on top.
That'd be a recruiting highlight tape there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quick shock to the home crowd here in Camp Hill. 9:10 to go here in the first quarter. Fresh set of downs on the second offensive set of the night for the Shamrocks. It is a run bursting around that near corner and rumbling all the way past the 45-yard line. It's a big carry there, and it's going to be enough to move the chains on the first play of the drive for the Shamrocks.
Really,
the ball, Brandon Harris.
Really good blocking, sealing the edge, and then cutting back inside. Harris is a big boy.
A big run there. Fresh set of downs for the Shamrocks. Looking for a response here after that surprise score from the Blue Raiders. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. It's Mason Boyer back there. He's got Harris flanking him to the right. Some movement across the middle, and then Boyer rolling out to the right, finds his man, gets the reception, enough for a first down, and down past the 40-yard line. A good connection there to Marcus Yeager.
And again, really good play design there. You see the three receivers clearing out, and there's no way that linebacker's going to keep up with Yeager, and he makes some good yardage on the reception.
I'll tell you what, how about the start to this drive here for the Shamrocks? Their first drive went nowhere. They give up that shocker touchdown to Zenon and the Raiders as they flip the field, and now here on the first two plays of this drive, they get 2 first downs. So Shamrocks certainly looking for a response here. Trailing 7-0, under 8 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Once again, it's a handoff to Harris. Harris trying his best to bulldoze through, but he is stopped and goes nowhere.
Yeah, really good job there by that defense, that Blue Raiders defense. Looked like that was number 55 in there, sticking his nose right in there, Josh Toro.
The Blue Raider line has done what they've needed to do. They've really just had that one run there by Harris when he managed to get around the edge, and you had the pass to Yeager. Kind of found some space in the secondary. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. Shamrocks looking for an answer. Down 7-0 to Middletown. A little floater pass to Yeager on the near side. Fakes his way around one defender, but eventually the crowd catches up to him. Gains maybe 3 or 4 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down.
But again, what they're using is they're using the receivers to clear out for these one-on-one matchups with the back against the linebacker. They've got some good success so far. That was a nice tackle there by number 11 there, Jakir Sawyer.
Yeah, had enough space for the reception, but that defense just collapsed right on him. Not giving him any room to work with. Brings up 3rd and 5. From the 34-yard line. Shamrocks trying to move the chains and look for an early score. Boyer airs out into the middle for Yeager, enough for a first down, brought down at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, really good throw there, right on the numbers. You can see here, Yeager at the top of the screen there. He's just going to do a quick, just slant right in front of the back, and a good tackle there. That was 22, Mason Rutkowski. Excuse me, Gavin Paul on the tackle.
A little bit of bumping and talking after that tackle was made, but no harm, no foul. Fresh set of downs, I should say, from the 23-yard line for the Shamrocks. Again, it's a handoff to Harris. Harris gets past one defender into the pile, gains another 2 or 3.
Harris up the middle, tripped up by George Hartwick.
George Hartwick there to close the door.
Yeah, Hartwick has been a stalwart on defense. In the 2 previous games that we saw him. In fact, he was the consolation player of the game in our first game that we telecast with the Donegal Middletown game.
Yeah, that it was all the way back in week 1 or week 0, whatever it is you actually refer to it as. There was a 13-8 win for Middletown all the way back in August. Boyer finds a man down the middle, but in and out of the hands of the intended target there for Sweppenheiser.
So that's going to bring up about a 3rd down and about, I'd say that's 7. And, the way that they've just had these, flooding the zone and kind of using the receivers as bait and just sending a receiver out into the flat, using Yeager behind the other receivers there has been pretty successful so far. But now he's in the slot on the opposite side.
Yeah, 3 to the right, 1 near side. You got Harris flanking Boyer. Boyer gets rid of it quickly, has to, as the pocket collapsed, and he finds his man downfield for another fresh set of downs, that time connecting with Maddox Jarzinski.
Gutsy throw here. He's going to see he's got that receiver cutting right behind there, and oh, wow. The linebacker almost gets there for the interception, but a first down.
Yeah, good quick decision-making, and that brings up not just first down, but first and goal for the Shamrocks. Looking to respond in their first drive after that shocker touchdown flipping the field. Nikkei Zenon made it 7-0. Middletown on top, but Shamrocks looking to even the score. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Movement goes to the right. It's a handoff to Harris. Harris tripped up just shy of the touchdown. He'll be marked down at about the 2-yard line.
Harris is just a big, big back. And look at those feet in the hole. Just kind of prances his way through there and drives to the goal line, as you can see, just short.
Trinity trying to hurry up and just blast this one on home from the 1-yard line, and the pile moves it on. Did it cross the plane? It sure looks like it. Yes, it did. Not quite a tush push, but close enough. Shamrocks are on the board with the rush there. I would assume it would be Harris that took it, but it might have been Boyer. Hard to tell with the pile.
No, I think it was the quarterback.
So a keeper for Boyer. It's a 6-7 for the moment with the extra kick pending.
Look like that's number 40.
Now Logan Amatucci looking to punch it on home.
I was going to let you go with that name first.
I could tell you were waiting for me to mess it up instead. And that one is good through the uprights. He didn't mess that up, though. Tied 7-7 now as the Shamrocks answer in their first drive after the Middletown drive made it 7-0. It's now 7-7. Glad you could join us here on PennLive.com for our Friday Night Football broadcast, brought to you by our friends at Constellation Energy. They bring the energy, and we're bringing the energy here, too, on a cool night in Camp Hill.
Powering America's growing economy every minute, every day. As the nation's largest producer of clean and reliable American-made energy, Constellation is wherever you are. From families to corner stores to manufacturers to the biggest data centers. We meet the nation's energy needs by generating emissions-free electricity today and for our future.
Well, unfortunately, our buddy Dave Marcheski couldn't be with us tonight, but Dave and I recorded a nice segment out at the 3 Mile Island plant today, and we'll have that little tidbit on at halftime. So I thought it was kind of entertaining. Dave and I get together and talk about, the year that has been, and obviously thanking Constellation for their support of high school football in the area, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly been nice to have them sponsor all of our Friday night football action here on PennLive.com as we bring the regular season come to a close here tonight. And starting off with, again, decent field position for the Middletown Blue Raiders. They get the ball at their own 40-yard line to start off as they, too, look for a response. It's a tale of two scores. You had a quick, long, nearly flipping the entire field strike by Nikkei Zenon for Middletown, put them up 7-0, and then the Shamrocks burn over 5 minutes off the clock on their last drive to score and make it 7-7. That's where we stand here with 3:30 to go in the first quarter. The first run there on this fresh set of downs for the Middletown Blue Raiders. It was a Luis Roman carry. We talked about him earlier. Middletown wanting to get him involved. He takes it to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and I can announce that we will be doing a first-round playoff game next Friday, so stay tuned to Penn Live for our game that we'll be broadcasting.
So 2nd and 4 from the 46-yard line for the Blue Raiders. They just watch the Shamrocks come back to tie the game. Looking for another answer here, but in much better field position than last time. Their last time with the ball, they got backed all the way up to their own 6-yard line and barreling on through the line. It's another big run there for Luis Roman to move the chains. And now he's starting to get more involved.
And that's what I talked about, a few moments ago. I felt that Roman was really going to have to be a big factor tonight for Middletown. And that just for, ball control, keeping that ball away from Trinity. Trinity's got a pretty high scoring offense there. So as much ball control that Middletown can do, I think the better off they're going to be.
Nikkei Zenon, the touchdown scorer from Middletown, lined up here on the near sideline. Flanking is Roman. Roman lost it.
No, now that was an
incomplete
incomplete pass. He flipped that to him. I have to believe that's an incomplete pass.
Perhaps it was a flip. It was somewhere in between. It's sort of, yeah, I guess it was kind of a flip, a shovel.
Yeah.
Maybe a shovel's a better way of putting it. But it went in and out of the hands of Roman, landing on it.
Yeah, that was not the right call by the official. That was definitely should have been considered a forward pass. But I guess because he didn't get a clean grip on the ball from the snap, that might have diverted the official's attention.
Either way, it sends the Blue Raiders backwards after the initial run by Roman. So now it's 2nd and 15. Taking the ball is blasting up past the 50-yard line. Another little pickup there for Gavin Paul. Again, Gavin Paul, another one of the guys the Blue Raiders want to have involved. He picks up 2. Brings up 3rd and long, though. 3rd and 13 for the Blue Raiders. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, as we wind down this first quarter, let's see. They've got double wides each side, so putting some pressure on the defense here.
Yeah, got some guys out wide. They got the threat up the middle. Now ranging back across the field is Ross. Ross handles the pass behind the line of scrimmage, trying to make up some ground and barrels right into the side marker there. But nowhere near enough for the line to gain.
Yeah, good job by the defender. See, he just pushed the blocker right back into the receiver and made him backtrack before he could kind of put his foot in the ground and get upfield. So, penetration ruins everything.
Yeah, not quite able to turn and burn there. Ends up going out of bounds, and another Middletown drive fizzles out there, and that's in large part due to that little mishandling there and the attempted handoff to Luis Roman. That set him back 5 to 6 yards and weren't able to recover. The kick might have been tipped in the air. It's hard to say.
I have
it wasn't
to believe
clean.
it was.
Sounded like it did. It still made it into to the other side of the field, but definitely sounded like it.
Ball placed at the 34 will be first and 10.
Could have certainly
Trinity.
been worse, but the Shamrocks will get field position at about their own 34-yard line. Okay, glad you could join us here this evening on PennLive.com. A cool night here in Camp Hill. The Trinity Shamrocks playing host to the Middletown Blue Raiders. The Shamrocks trying to play for a bye. The Blue Raiders trying to play for the playoffs here tonight in the final week of the regular season.
Yeah, so much that each of these teams are playing for tonight. And, talking to both coaches before the game, they're just thankful that they're playing a meaningful game, the last game of the season.
Boyer steps back and trying to find a man there on the far side. Not quite on the same page with Brandon Harris. Harris typically running the ball, but that time they were looking for the reception through the air. 34.6 left here in the first quarter of action, tied 7-7 between the Shamrocks and the Blue Raiders tonight. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 34.
And talking to Coach Ortiz before the game, he was really lauding the guys that they've really been, getting it, especially with this 2-game turnaround. And so he's looking forward to bigger and better things in the postseason, but they need a win here tonight.
On 2nd and 10, Boyer with a little flip to Harris. Harris gets ahead of steam up to the 40-yard line.
Harris
Found some space in the line over there and able to take advantage of it to bring them to within 4.
Looks like Josh Staines
Yeah,
on the
Harris
tackle.
has a great running style.
Ball
He's just
placed at the 40.
leaning forward.
3rd and
Puts
4.
his foot in the ground, lowers his head. I love the way that he runs the football.
And so you could almost see him like lean back and then lean right into it, almost trying to like swing the momentum into the run. And he carried the ball just past the 40-yard line. That does it for the first quarter of action. It's a 7-7 ball game. The Blue Raiders struck first on a long play. Nikias Zenon took it all the way to the house from one side of the field to the other. And a 5-minute drive, 5+ minute drive for the Shamrocks tied it up 7-7.
Well, let's bring it into our broadcast booth here
Why not?
once again.
Yeah, up here in the Crow's Nest. Glad you could join us up here on PennLive.com. Bruce Badgley, John Wenger, myself, PJ Rydell. Glad to be spending a Friday night with you here as always. And again, a lot of implications with this game. 2 good teams. Middletown coming in kind of on a little bit of a hot stretch. And, of course, Trinity with a solid season only really being disrupted by that Susquehanna Township loss last week to snap their 6-game win streak. So 2 teams certainly hungry for different things, but ultimately they've got something to play for here tonight.
Yeah, and it's been great. I mean, you look at it, we started this season with Middletown, okay? We're going to finish the season with Middletown. And in between, there's been a great story of great games and teams all across the area. We want to thank Constellation Energy for their support. Really appreciate, highlighting, high school sports in the area, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly a lot of fun to be a part of every Friday night. Well, almost every Friday night. I had to miss a few, but hopefully you got to tune in to every Friday night. I know Bruce was here every Friday, so.
And it was, it's been fun to have John Wenger join the team here. John's done such a great job on camera. I'm sure our fans are, enjoying all the work that that John does here too. So.
Well, you see, the important part about what he's doing is we play back the replay. Whatever we say, whatever we say gets said once, but whatever he does gets replayed twice.
Yeah,
so
right.
there's a little more pressure.
Yeah,
on
I got
him.
a lot of pressure, man.
No pressure, but. And so we start the second quarter of action here on PennLive.com. 7-7 between the Shamrocks and the Blue Raiders. Shamrocks starting with the ball at about their own 40. Boyer avoids the tackle on the first one, wrapped up on the second hit, and no flags, so a clean hit. Boyer is sacked back at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you what, a great job there by Sawyer once again, just staying with the play. You see, he beats his man, and boy, he's got a bead on the quarterback and brings him down.
All of a sudden, that brings up 4th down, and so that does it for the Shamrock drive. They will punt it away here. The punt is a solid one, bounces to the 20, past the 20 to the 15, and we'll roll down and finally slow down at about the 11 or 12. So a good punt there pins Middletown deep in their own zone as they try to bail themselves out of deep in their own zone, just like they did early in the first quarter on their strike from Zenon, where they took it from the 11-yard line all the way to the house.
Well, first quarter there, we had touchdowns in consecutive possessions. Now both defenses are kind of settling in. They're kind of getting a read on their opponent here. So let's see what the Middletown offense can draw up to get some yardage here.
Yeah, what's the next adjustment to make for the Blue Raider offense? They are, in fact, on their own 11 again, 1st and 10. And back there again, sophomore quarterback Harrison Ortiz connected with Nikkei Zenon. Last time they were on the 11, Zenon took it all the way to the house. It's a handoff there on another run, and the pile getting a little feisty there on the near side. But
yeah, I think that was Roman that time again.
Was.
And they've got a beat on him, that's for sure.
And so now you kind of wonder, if they do really start to key in on Luis Roman, how do you get other guys like Gavin Paul and
got to use him. You use Roman as a decoy and
Zenon again. Now that Zenon showed off that big play threat, he's lined up wide. 2nd and 9 from the 12. It's a handoff once again to Roman, but Roman just not quite able to turn upfield. A nice play there on defense, hanging with him.
Yeah,
for
that
the
was
Shamrocks.
Nice job there. Gavin Mann really did a great job there, sealing the edge. You can see him just wrestling Roman to the ground.
Not an easy assignment there, but nicely done by Gavin Mann. Brings up 3rd and 9 from the, or 3rd and 7, excuse me, from the 15-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play, but could have been a whole lot more had Roman been able to get around the edge. 2 minutes passed here in the second quarter, 7-7 between Middletown and Trinity. Final game of the regular season as we look ahead to district playoffs next week. These two teams hoping to look forward to that as well, though Trinity trying to play for a bye here tonight. Middletown just trying to play to get in, or at least control their own destiny. Trying to run past the 25-yard line and taking a whole host of defenders with them. Nikkei Zenon, they are dead set on not letting him have the big play, but he does move the chains.
And again, there's that play where, the offense has, stacked the right side, and you're throwing it out to the isolated receiver on the outside. I mean, Trinity had success with it, and Middletown has success with it right there to get a first down.
And with those fresh set of downs, they'll start off at the 26-yard line after the run there by Nikkei Zenon. Zenon and Roman, two of your key guys on offense, along with quarterback Harrison Ortiz for the Blue Raiders so far tonight. Another handoff to Roman, and Roman breaks through one seam, breaks through another, takes it down to the 40, moves the chains again. Back-to-back plays with first down conversions. The Blue Raider offense trying to keep rolling.
And watch how these Blue Raider offensive linemen just keep on their blocks 5-6 yards down the field. Roman running through arm tackles really looks good there.
Another fresh set of downs from the 40-yard line after the run by Roman, blasting through a couple lines to keep the chains on moving. Ortiz organizing the troops on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Looks like that's
Takes
Gavin.
the snap, rolls it to the right, finds his man through the defense, and a hard hit there down just shy of the 45-yard line to Genesisia Ross. A hard hit there.
And Ross had some room, but really good job closing there by number 26, Brandon Harris for Trinity.
You have to appreciate the pass, too, for Ortiz because he had that defender's hand right in his face, but was able to thread it right on past him.
So 2nd and about 6.
Spotted at the 44-yard line. Ortiz handles the snap, hands it off once again to Gavin Paul. Paul nearly brought down, avoids a couple defenders, and finally lay in the last hit on him. There was Mason Necker.
I thought that there may have been a face mask in that melee, but I could be wrong.
Well, no whistles or flags on the play. There is a player down, though, for Middletown, and so they'll take a break at least for a moment before we get to 3rd and 8 again. Good time to thank our friends at Constellation Energy for making this game possible and every Friday Night Football game possible here as we make our way to the end of the regular season. Certainly glad for their help and their sponsorship, bringing these games to you for free here on PennLive.com.
Yeah, and let's just hear from our friends at Constellation Energy.
Bring the energy, powering America's growing economy every minute, every day. As the nation's largest producer of clean and reliable American-made energy, Constellation is wherever you are. From families to corner stores to manufacturers to the biggest data centers. We meet the nation's energy needs by generating emissions-free electricity today and for our future.
Well, Mario Palermo has made his way off the field from Middletown after appearing to be injured. Made his way off on his own power, though, so a good sign for the Blue Raiders, who now face a 3rd and 8 from the 42-yard line. Still 7-7 here between. Ortiz handles the low snap, fakes the handoff, immediately has pressure, but finds a receiver who takes it down past the 50-yard line, right into the pile. Nicely done, Colton Stapleton. And good improvisation there from Ortiz to find his man.
Yeah, that was a good improvisation, and that's what a quarterback's got to do sometimes. He's got to make those plays.
And that he did. Moves it to the Trinity side of the field at the 47-yard line. Some nice passes under pressure here for Ortiz. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier in the game about how much pressure, how much time he would have. And although that pressure has certainly been there, he's handled it here, certainly in the last couple drives. Brings up another fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Middletown offense looking to retake the lead. They took a 7-0 lead on the Nikias Xenon bomb in the first quarter. Only about 3 minutes into the game. A higher snap this time for Ortiz. Finds a man, but only goes backwards. He found Xenon. Yard line. Middletown offense looking to retake the ball backwards on that one.
Well, sometimes when a quarterback sees the play going south, you just have to throw the ball on the ground, which I think they needed to do there. I mean, the entire defensive line was around Xenon there.
They flipped from Trinity's 48 to their own 48. Here on 2nd down, it's 2nd and 13. Now, you're starting to see some more of that pressure really keying in from the Trinity line. Holding on to it, passing, but unable to connect. The Middletown sideline wanted a pass interference, but
yeah, that was close.
And I can understand, but with as high as the pass was, I also understand where the officials are coming from. With there being no flag, although the Middletown offense certainly, or Middletown sideline certainly heated about the no call.
Well, 3rd and long now.
Yeah, I suppose the officials probably just saying that pass was too far up and over, or that there just wasn't enough contact. I don't know, but as you mentioned, brings up 3rd and long, though, from their own 48-yard line for the Blue Raider offense, trying not to stall out here in the midfield.
So empty backfield here, clearly passing formation.
Just under 5.5 left to play here in the first half of action, still tied at 7-7. Ortiz, not much time to work with, tries to find Xenon down the left side. He gets him. Another big play for Xenon. Touchdown, Middletown.
Wow,
there is a flag on the play, though. So
flag. I think it might be offensive interference. Watch. I think he kind of, yeah, see, I think they're calling for offensive pass interference on that play.
Oh, no, Middletown's clapping.
Oh, my.
Whatever the call is not against Middletown, and so that touchdown's going to be good. How about that? Defensive holding was the call.
Wow, oh, my goodness.
52-yard bomb, 2 big plays for Nikias Xenon, has Middletown up 13-7 now. Extra point pending.
That was, I guess the key thing there is that, he could have been called for offensive pass interference.
You could have argued that, but I think after that previous no call, if I'm the officials, I'm not so sure I'm chomping at the bit to call something against Middletown there. I'm not saying that's what they're doing. There's a reason I'm up here and not on the field, but extra point is good. 14-7. Middletown is on top after another big play from Harrison Ortiz to Nikea Zena. I think what I love most about that play was the fact that right after that no call on the pass interference where Middletown was frustrated, somebody from the crowd yelled, "Do it again." And what did they do? They did it again. They connected, took it to the house. So you know what? Sometimes you do just have to take the advice of the crowd every once in a while and do it again. And it works. 14-7. Blue Raiders on top.
Well, the one thing that the Blue Raiders have found out is that isolated receiver is, one-on-one. And Ortiz and Zenon there have definitely got that karma going tonight.
Of course, the extra point. Miskovich was good. Got to give some love to the kickers.
Yes.
Makes it 14-7. Middletown on top, 5:20 left to go here in the first half. The last time Middletown scored on a big Xenon play, Trinity answered in the very next drive and looking to do the exact same thing here. A flag flies, and Middletown seems to think that's going to be against Trinity, and Trinity's body language seems to agree. So after the ball is down at about the 15-yard line, looks like the call goes against Jarzinski. Jarzinski's certainly heated about the call.
Well, I'll tell you what, with every passing series, this Middletown team just gains more and more confidence.
I mean, they feel like the team that's the hot hand at the moment in a lot of ways. I mean, we've talked about the last 2 weeks. They really got their mojo back, put themselves in position for the playoffs, and you can tell they've got that momentum trying to ride out the end of the season. They're getting hot at the right time. But Trinity has 5:16 to answer here in the first half. 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. The Shamrocks deep in their own zone. Boyer. The snap goes up and over, and there's a flag that flies before the snap. So at least they're not in trouble from that snap, but there was a call against them anyway. So they do still go backwards regardless, but at least they don't go all the way back into their own end zone. Although, as far back as they are,
and I'm not entirely sure. It looks like some timeout. Trinity may have called a timeout there.
Yeah, that they did. The official motioning that it was a Trinity timeout. So the Shamrocks take a timeout, understandably so. They got to find a way to get back in rhythm here after they've had a lot of things kind of blow up in their face.
Well, let's just keep it right here, and let's just talk about what you're looking at on your screen right now, and how this Middletown team has just kind of risen up, physically and emotionally here over these last couple of weeks to put themselves back in playoff contention. Coach Ortiz and that staff have just done an incredible job with these young men, and now they're leading Trinity on the road with basically everything on the line, and it's, quite commendable.
So a tough spot here for the Shamrocks, though, trying to look for an answer before heading to the half. 1st and 14 from their own 4-yard line against a team, as you mentioned, that's been the hot hand here, the Middletown Blue Raiders. Boyer from his own end zone finds his man up the middle and brought down at about the 15-yard line. Jarzinski just a couple yards shy of the line to gain. That gets him out in a little more breathing room.
Yeah, and Josh Staines with a good tackle there. Because if he doesn't make that tackle, I mean, Jarzinski is still running.
Yeah, he's got a lot of room to work with if he gets past him. So a good stop there makes it 2nd and 2 from about the 17-yard line. Just under 5 minutes left to play here in the first half of action. The visitors, the Middletown Blue Raiders, are on top 14-7. On a cool Friday night here in Camp Hill. The handoff again goes to Harris. Harris piled up. Brought down at about the 19, 18-yard line, so that is enough to move the chains. Fresh set of downs for the Shamrocks.
But you can see
That makes the line to gain first and
Harris,
10 rocks.
it takes more than one guy to bring him down. He is just a really good-looking running back.
Yeah, he has showcased some real
And
talent.
only a sophomore. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a whole lot of future stars already in the making for both of these teams. You look at sophomore quarterback Harrison Ortiz from Middletown. You look at Harris on the other side for the Shamrocks. Certainly some promising future for both of these programs as now he airs it out. Boyer finds a man down the far side. Yeager brought down finally at about the 36-yard line. Well, you talk about all the big plays from Middletown. Trinity finally has theirs as Marcus Yeager receives it for a first down and then some.
Well, Boyer looked out there, and Yeager was so wide open, he just heaved it probably as far as he could throw it there.
Yeah, how could you not? They do mark it down at the 36-yard line. Fresh set of downs here. Trinity in business, looking for an answer with 3:30 left to play in the first half. Now, it is worth mentioning that Trinity will receive the second half kickoff, although they received their own kickoff as the defense bats that one away. Boy, right in there to disrupt. Nicely played on defense there by Kyrie Sawyer.
Yeah,
We've said Sawyer's name a couple times here tonight.
Watch him. He can't get to the quarterback, but he did what he's supposed to do and get his hands up. Knock that pass down. Good defensive job there by Jakir Sawyer.
So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 from the 36 for the Shamrocks. Clock stopped here at 3:21. Shamrocks would love to score here before halftime, even though they will get the ball to open the second half. Harris again with it, blasting forward. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about yards after contact. Harris racking them up here tonight, bringing it all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and as we've touched on, I mean, he is always going forward. He's got that really good lean that you need, and he stays low behind his pads, going north and south. Boy, he is a really good running back.
Yeah, he has looked really good, been finding the seams, but he's been able to keep on barreling through, too, even when he doesn't necessarily have a clean path. 3rd and 4 from the 30-yard line. Trinity with 2:44 to put another one on the board here before the half. And a bunch of jumping on the line that time. An easy call for the officials on both sides of the field. I suppose the question now is just who jumped first.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it looks like it was
against Trinity, so Trinity went first. So they go backwards. So it's going to be 3rd and about 9. Or scoreboard says 3rd and 10. It should be, I think, about 3rd and 9. Marked down at the 35-yard line. This drive started on the 36.
So double wide set.
With the big plays from Middletown, if you're Trinity, you really don't want to give Middletown the ball back with time left on the clock here in the first half. There's still 2:20 on the game clock here right now. Is that one never really got low enough to have a chance in the hands of Sweppenheiser, and so will bring up 4th down for the Shamrocks, and in this position they look, at least for the moment, inclined to go for it.
It was a good thing that he threw it high because he was double covered. I think if he throws it right to the receiver, it's an interception.
Well, I suppose one of those plays, if you know you're going for it on 4th down, that you can, maybe afford's not the right word, but you can do, trying to see if they could get the big play to convert on 3rd. Instead, it's 4th and 9 from the 35-yard line. Boyer gets it down the middle, finds his man for a first down and then some. Brought down at the 15-yard line. Again, Jarzynski getting more involved in this one for another big reception. A fresh set of downs. Essentially 1st and goal, 1st and 10 from the 10 for the Shamrocks.
Boy, that was a really nice pass there by Boyer, kind of threading it in there between those two receivers. One was going out, one was going in. And in between was a defender. So, I mean, Boyer did a nice job hitting the target there.
Yeah, no panic from Boyer there. Despite it being 4th down, as he connects and moves the chains. The ball spotted at the 14-yard line. I originally thought it was at the 10. Boyer for the back foot floats it to Jarzynski. Nobody was home. And the Shamrocks find their answer before halftime. Nice little floater for a 14-yard score. 13-14 with the extra point pending.
Jarzynski, a nice fake. The defender thought he was going on the slant. Instead, he ran the corner and touchdown, baby.
No panic from Ortiz. A couple big receptions for Jarzynski, and the Shamrocks get exactly what they were looking for before halftime. The extra point pending here. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we are all tied up once again. Amatucci puts it in through the uprights, and it is a 14-14 game here in Camp Hill.
I'll tell you what, I think what we thought was going to have happen here tonight. Both of these teams with so much on the line, and they're just leaving it all out on the field. In that particular possession, though, Mason Boyer and his receivers just kind of picked apart that Blue Raiders secondary, and I think that the Blue Raiders, they've got some coverage issues that they've got to sort out on the sidelines there.
Yeah, we've seen both lines show up when they've needed to, but that secondary kind of starting to make the difference here. Although it is also hard to say make the difference when it's a tie ball game. 14-14. Blue Raiders and the Shamrocks with 1:30 left to play before halftime. Shamrocks will kick it off here and try to limit any potential big plays here. I mean, a situation like this, tied 14-14 with 90 seconds on the clock, does certainly favor a big play team like Middletown that we've seen tonight. Kick is a good one all the way past the 10-yard line, handled by Zenon, and Zenon finds a seam. Zenon to the 40. To the 45, finally brought down. The ball comes out. Middletown lands on it, though. So the Blue Raiders are very fortunate that they maintain possession there. Boy, I'll tell you what, a little bit of everything here in the first half tonight, as I believe landing on it and saving that one. There was Ross. Staines was in there.
Boy, that football was loose for quite a while.
Yeah, when got out, got kind of fumbled around a little bit, and ultimately, Middletown hangs on to it, so they have the potential for a big play here. 1:20 left to play in the first half from their own 49 or own 48-yard line.
Yeah, with a minute 20, I think each team
only one timeout's been used.
Well, Middletown's got 3 left.
Yeah, Trinity's used
the
the only
scoreboard
timeout
says.
Of the first half. First play of the drive was a faked handoff to Harris, and able to handle it and get it to the outside, up the sideline, out at about the 30-yard line. A nice run by Ross.
Wow, what a fingertip grab there. I mean, he caught it. I think with only on the top of the ball, he just grabs it, and he's off to the races and out of bounds. Smart play.
Now, well played there, a disciplined play for Ross. Moves the chains once again, and again, this Middletown offense showing off the big play abilities. Trying to answer with one more swing before halftime. 1:12 left on the first half clock. Now from the 29-yard line. Ross moving to the left side of the line. It's a handoff for Roman. Roman takes it forward for maybe a yard, but not much going there as the line for the Shamrocks collapses.
Well, with 3 timeouts, they just need to hustle here a little bit.
It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Need a sense of urgency here now.
We get the clock down to 50 seconds now. 2nd and 10 from the 29. After the run by Roman, he is a net 0.
Look at the receiver on the top part of your screen. He's the isolated one.
Ortiz rolls to the left, though, trying to find somewhere to go and has to just throw it away. And, oh, that almost stayed up long enough for Jarzynski to get under it, but not quite. And it's just an incompletion, but a scary-looking one at that. 32.7 left on the first half clock.
Well, scary-looking one, and the big thing is that they wasted so much time there.
Mm-hmm. So now that'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 29-yard line.
But they still have 3 timeouts remaining. 32.7 on the clock.
Still 2 downs to work with here at least. 3rd and 10 from the 29. Ortiz is flanked to the left by Roman. He rolls out to the left, looking for a receiver on the near side. He was trying to go for another big play to Xenon, but was not able to connect, and it was a quick play. So only 28.9 left on the first half clock now, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, the mystery is no longer there with Xenon. I mean, he was double covered that time.
Yes, you would have to imagine that the keying on him would not take very long, especially after 2 big touchdowns here in the first half that gave Middletown at one point the 14-7 lead. The Shamrocks answering back here late in the second quarter to make it 14-14. Middletown with 1 down left to try to move the chains and give themselves a chance for another score before halftime. Glad you could join us tonight on PennLive.com. Our broadcast brought to you by our friends at Constellation Energy. They bring the energy, and they brought the energy for every Friday night this season as we wrap up the regular season here tonight.
And Dave Marcheski unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight, but Dave and I got together a little earlier today at the 3 Mile Island plant. And
as one does.
Yeah, and so stick around. At halftime, Dave and I will have our kind of our year-end conversation, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really appreciate Constellation Energy here, but you know, things move on, and we will definitely begin our postseason action on Penn Live next Friday with a first-round District 3 football game, and we also have action throughout the week on other sports as well, field hockey, soccer. So stay tuned to Penn Live for all your District 3 playoff and championship action.
I say they're already deep into the playoff brackets in those other sports. And now here with 28.9 seconds left, 4th down. It's a pass behind. They're just going to try to play a little bit of keep away. Airing it out is Ross. He's got Xenon down there, but he couldn't come up with it. Well, if you're going to throw it to anybody, you throw it to Xenon, but not quite able to come down with it as he was basically triple covered down there in the end zone, and rightfully so. Yep, 3 guys converge and just not able to come down with it, but a good effort.
I love the play call. I think it was, what they had to do at that particular point. You know, they're trying to, keep Trinity thinking. And I like the call, but kudos to Trinity. They had it diagnosed. I think it was more triple coverage on Xenon that time.
Yeah, and understandably so. So Trinity takes over on downs. 27.5 seconds left here in the first half. They're all piled up right there on the line.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to take a knee. But, hey, you know what? I mean, there's been fakes with this.
Well, we've already seen so many things pulled out of the bag of tricks here tonight. That time, there is no trick. I know we're a week early on the Halloween trick-or-treats. That time, just a simple knee, and that will send this game to halftime, tied 14-14 between the Trinity Shamrocks and the Middletown Blue Raiders here tonight in Camp Hill. Certainly glad you could be along for the ride on PennLive.com. Again, we'll have a conversation with Dave Marcheski and our friend Bruce Badgley here for the halftime show, and then we'll join you for the second half.
All right, hang with us here. We're going to, when the clock finally runs out here, we'll
Can't jump too early.
I can't end it too early there. So here we go. Here's Dave Marcheski and I a little bit earlier today. The Trinity Middletown game. Bruce Badgley and Dave Marcheski, Community Relations Manager.
I like your hat, Bruce.
I like your hat, too. Yeah, you can actually see us here now, but I'll tell you what, it's always been,
off to you.
Hats off to you, too, Dave, for, what you've done here with Constellation Energy and support of high school sports. How's it gone for you this season?
Oh, it's been a great season. My favorite part was getting out, seeing you once a week, was one of the highlights. But really getting out there and talking to the people at the football games. It's great action on the field, even greater action to having those conversations about the Restart project here at Crane Clean Energy Center.
Yeah, and, it's been fascinating for me getting to look, behind the curtain. Gosh, we got to go to the training center, got to do a tour of the plant. It's coming right down to the fact that you guys are going to be putting this 3 Mile Island plant online here shortly, right?
For sure. We're standing in front of the what we call the Alpha cooling tower in just a couple short years. Towards the end of 2027, you're going to start seeing the water vapor come back out of these cooling towers here. So we're excited. We're doing the work now. All the safety mechanisms being put in place so we can go online at that time frame.
Yeah, I grew up around a pretty large power plant in Indiana there, and for me, the cooling tower and which way the steam was flowing that day was like how I could tell what the weather's going to be like, right?
Yeah, it's great, especially on certain days. It kind of matches with the clouds. My 6-year-old son, Mason, who we've had on the program a couple of times, he calls it the cloud factory, which is true. I mean, it's water vapor. It's the same water molecules as a cloud. So, yeah, it's a great weather maker.
What are some of the milestones, in the near term that you got coming up here, with the power plant and getting it online?
Sure. So we have 3, tracks going on right now. We have the regulatory track. So we had to submit all of our requests for approval to the NRC. That was done this fall. Over at the training center where we did our first, meeting over there, we have the students going through their training to get licensed to become nuclear operators at the plant. It takes 18 months to do that. And when they're licensed, they have that license for life only here at Crane Unit 1. So they're doing the work now to train over there. And lastly is the work that's being done. One of the cooling towers, the Bravo, the other one behind us here, the fill structure on the bottom has to be replaced. And we're getting 2 new transformers next summer. Some of the big major upgrades here at the plant.
Wow, very interesting. And, look, Dave, we're always doing sports all around, the area and what have you. Feel free to stop by at halftime, anytime. But when you got an evening free, you know where we're broadcasting from. Would love to get your analysis. I mean, it was a lot of fun this year at halftime.
Great time. I mean, love it. Look, Pennsylvania and high school football is like peanut butter and jelly, right? I mean, the action on the field there is great. People love it here. It's a great community aspect. It brings everybody together, and I love it. It's great. And we got playoff season, so maybe I'll come again.
Playoff season, and, we got big hats. We got jerseys. I mean, we've got everything here, Dave. It's been a pleasure, getting to know you. It's been a great time here, at halftimes. And don't be a stranger.
Oh, well, not, Bruce. Thank you very much. You guys have been great. And watch that broadcast. They do a great job.
All right. Thanks a lot. Back to the game.
Well, the teams are back on the field, loosening up for our second half of action. We're glad you could join us here for it here on PennLive.com. I'm PJ Rydell, along with Bruce Badgley and John Wenger up here in the Crow's Nest at Trinity. And yes, the jacket is on. I finally caved. I decided it was too cold for that. I didn't want to do that here in October, but here we are. But as far as a heated game, though, we got an even score, 14-14 between Middletown and Trinity. And I think it's been kind of what we expected in a lot of ways. There have been a little more, kind of tricks out of the bag than maybe we expected. Some big plays for sure. But in a very close game is exactly what we were kind of hoping for.
Yeah, I think we expected that. I think that we felt it was going to be an emotionally charged game because there's so much on the line for both teams. I mean, Middletown, their season's on the line. Trinity, they're reaching for an opportunity to have a bye week and a home playoff game. So there is a lot riding on this game, and as you pointed out, not surprising that it's tied at 14, right, John?
Yeah, big plays have been the story so far, and I've been really impressed with Boyer from Trinity. I mean, every time he drops back, he's been very decisive with the football, knows where he's going with it. It's led to some big plays for Trinity, which has kept them in this game. And, big plays are going to be the storyline in this second half because, for the most part, the defenses have done a solid job, but those offenses have been able to get the big plays to put points on the board. So I think whatever team is able to stop those big plays might have the advantage here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, they kind of look like we want to run the ball to start. And very quickly, both lines kind of adjusted. So they did move to the big play, and both teams have been able to make it work, too.
Yeah, the big play. I mean, but as we saw the half kind of unfold, Trinity got a little bit more, double and triple coverage on Xenon. And I think that they put a lot more pressure on Ortiz. I mean, he didn't have a clean pocket really much in the second quarter. So I think that they're going to work on trying to get pressure to Ortiz, the quarterback of Middletown, and that's what Middletown has to do against Boyer because Boyer picked them apart in the second quarter.
Yeah, so let's get into the second half of action here. Glad you could join us on PennLive.com, brought to you by our friends at Constellation Energy. And I mean, as you mentioned a moment ago with Xenon, what'll be interesting to see, too, is that if Trinity continues to clamp down on him and does so successfully, who would they turn to for the Blue Raiders to try to get some big plays? And they certainly have some options. It'd just be interesting to see, do they try to go back to the run?
We tried that razzle-dazzle play there, trying to free things up. I talk about that all the time, but that's
Ross has stepped up a lot, too, for Middletown as well, especially there in the second quarter after that one is skirted right along the ground. They would call that a worm burner if it wasn't artificial turf. And that gets the ball down at the 35-yard line, and that's where Trinity will start. So Trinity is starting with the ball both the first half and second half because they were able to maintain possession on the opening kickoff on a onside kick that opened the game. Trinity was not able to do anything with that opening drive, but they're hoping to be able to do a little more with this one after getting that touchdown shortly before the half.
Yeah, and let's see if Marcus Yeager, number 4, can be a part of this offense just like he was in that first half.
Yeah, especially the second quarter, some big plays to keep some drives alive for the Shamrocks. And that run there, though, for the Shamrocks doesn't really go anywhere. He's plugged up Adam Dalton in the middle.
Yeah, first time, kind of a dive play by either team, really. Nice job there plugging the hole again. Number 55 there, Josh Toro.
Well, I got to say, if this game stays as back and forth as it is, they could make it difficult to pick a Constellation player of the game at the end of this one. Still thinking about that. Something we'll announce when we get to the end of the game. Hopefully somebody emerges as an easy candidate for us. Second and 9 from the 35-yard line. Boyer stepping back again. A decisive pass into the middle. Caught and handled by Marzinski again. Manages to dance all the way down to the 8-yard line. Or Jarzinski, excuse me. And that's another guy that really stepped up there, particularly in the second quarter. Jarzinski with some big receptions for the Shamrocks, including the score to tie the game 14-14.
Yeah, and again, both of these teams with the same kind of philosophy that they're going to send receivers down to clear out an area and then have another receiver basically just set down in the area that they vacated, and that's been open all night for both teams.
And a fresh set of downs to the 48-yard line after the reception by Jarzynski. Harris with a run again, takes it up, barreling through the contact again, maybe about the 49-yard line, moves it to the other side of the field, and Harris just continuing to show off that tough running style.
Well, and again, they brought another back into the backfield there, and it looks to me like they're going to try and see what Harris can do, get that blocking back in front of him, and see where he can play off of that.
Yeah, they've had a couple different guys back there. Dalton had a carry to open this drive, and he has been back there to try to help as well. Dalton lining up just in front of Harris. And he's back behind Boyer. Boyer directly under center. Boyer takes the snap, rolls back past Harris, got the pressure chasing him, airs it out to the near sideline, tipped out of the hands of Marcus Yeager. And it's an incompletion. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Gosh, we marvel our broadcast position is right, down on the field. I mean, that pass looked like it was at eye level for us.
We just reached out and tried to make a play on it ourselves.
Yeah, well, a lot of fun doing a game here at Trinity. Thanks to Alana Stewart and all of your support. Had a great conversation with her prior to the game, and really appreciate Trinity High School's support of our broadcasting here on PennLive.
Certainly isn't a one-man show, that's for sure. 3rd and 6 will have to wait after the timeout by the Shamrocks, so they'll take some time to talk. And we'll take some time to thank our friends at Constellation Energy for bringing the energy here tonight and bringing this broadcast to you in every Friday night football game throughout this regular season as we wrap up our regular season tonight.
Energy, powering America's growing economy every minute, every day. As the nation's largest producer of clean and reliable American-made energy, Constellation is wherever you are. From families to corner stores to manufacturers to the biggest data centers, we meet the nation's energy needs by generating emissions-free electricity today and for our future.
Once again, thank you to our friends at Constellation Energy for making our Friday Night Football coverage possible here on PennLive.com. It's been a fun season. Hard to believe we're already at the end of the regular season. Certainly looking forward to district playoffs beginning next week, and hope that you can join us for some of that action. These two teams jockeying not just for position, but for the ability to get in. Middletown really, their season kind of riding on this game here tonight, or at least the ability to control their own destiny. Shamrocks looking for a bye. Right now it's tied 14-14 between these two conference foes. 3rd and 6 from the 48-yard line. Harris barreling on forward. He's got enough for the 1st down and carries the pile with him. Boy, the tough running tonight for Harris has just been so much fun to watch.
One person cannot bring down Harris. I mean, Brandon Harris has a running style and a physicality that, as a sophomore, I tell you what, is very, very impressive.
Yeah, certainly keep an eye on him for years to come. He moves the chains. Fresh set of downs from the 36-yard line now for the Shamrocks. Encroaching on Middletown territory, tied 14-14. Just 3 minutes into our second half of action. Boyer handles the snap, pass to the left side to Jarzynski. Jarzynski able to stay up just long enough to get the 1st down. Nicely played after the contact there by Jarzynski.
Yeah, that defensive back was well beyond the 1st down marker and had to close. Jarzynski kind of reached for his head there a minute, but that's going to be a 1st down.
It looks like he's all right. He's part of the huddle here again. Jarzynski really emerging here over the last quarter and change as a key player here tonight for the Shamrocks passing offense. Harris carrying the ball. Jarzynski and Yeager handling a lot of the receptions, and Boyer manning the offense from back behind center. Boyer flanked to his right with a fresh set of downs here by Harris. Harris takes it, rolls to the left, again through the contact, carries it past the 20.
Harris on the carry.
Yeah, that he broke through the line there. George Hartwick made the tackle, but quite a few yards downfield.
Not an easy run either, as again, I was mentioning he was flanking Boyer to the right, and then he went to the left across the front. Found a seam and was able to make something of it. Certainly not easy going the other way.
But second and about 4, that really opens up the playbook here.
We've seen a little bit of everything tonight from the Shamrocks. Some trickery, getting stuff through the air, some hard-nosed running. See what they have in store here on 2nd and 4 from the 19. Boyer, quick handoff to Harris. Harris finds some space. The blockers giving him a lane to get the first down.
Harris on the
Oh.
Another
carry.
fresh set of downs thanks to another run by Harris.
Tackle by number 56.
Yeah, and a good job by that offensive line. They just gave him a little bit of a crease there, and he got through it for the first down.
10 rocks.
So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Trinity with a good drive here to open the second half of action. Tied 14-14, under 7 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line for the Shamrock offense. Boyer at the snap again, steps back through the middle, nearly picked off. I'll tell you what, right there on defense,
2nd and 10.
it was James Ross. Ross with good physicality to get in the way of that one as they targeted Jarzynski, looking for his second touchdown of the night.
And if you ask James, he said he should have intercepted this right in his hands, and he dropped it.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
Right into that wingspan for James Queen. Would have loved to have had it. For now, though, it makes it 2nd and 10 from the 14.
Yeah, both of these teams young. I mean, Queen's only a junior.
Another one of those leader guys that we call in the other Middletown games we've called earlier this year. He's been another name that we've called plenty. Stepped up there on defense. 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line for the Shamrock offense. Try to pass to Jarzynski there. Yeager motioning to the left.
That's
gets
a
the ball.
backwards pass.
Yeager has it, floats it up over top, and he came down with it. Touchdown Shamrocks as Yeager passed it to Kleppice. And the Shamrocks are on top.
And a left-handed pass. There's 2 receivers right there. Oh, man. I guess whatever you can do, we can do better, with the halfback option pass.
That was a dot. I mean, that was over the defenders. He had to put some touch on it to complete the pass. Absolutely, Bruce. They copy what Middletown tries to do, and they made it work. So
Yeah.
how about that for a way to get your lead for the
Yeah,
game?
and the thing, too, he's a left-handed passer, so he's running to his left and throwing. I mean, that's right in his wheelhouse, literally.
Waiting the extra point here. Having to move quickly after some personnel changes. Looking to make it 3 for 3 on the night for Amatucci, and he does it up through the uprights. Makes it 21-14, and as you were alluding to, John, the first lead of the night for the Shamrocks. Here comes with 6:34 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, now let's see. I mean, this is the first time that Middletown has trailed in this game. And, Trinity kind of had their way with them, on that drive. Kept them off balance between the pass and the run. Boy, that was an impressive drive by Trinity there with Harris running. Jarzynski, who's really added, an X factor along with Marcus Yeager as targets for Mason Boyer. I tell you, that group of guys is going to be tough to stop the rest of this game.
Yeah, they've just gotten more and more in sync. I mean, to your point about a really good drive there for Trinity, it kind of feels like every drive has just gotten better and better as the night's gone on, as they've warmed up and gotten in sync, and now it's up to the Blue Raiders to try to stop that tide. 21-14, Shamrocks freshly on top. That kickoff doesn't go very far, only to the 35-yard line. That's where the Blue Raider offense will start. Looking for an answer here. Again, trailing for the first time tonight are the Blue Raiders. 2 big touchdowns in the first half by Nikia Zenon. Off of passes from Harrison Ortiz gave them their 14. They led 7-0, then it was tied 7-7. They led 14-7, then it was tied 14-14. Now it's 21-14. The Shamrocks giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Well, when I talked to Trinity head coach Kevin Yarnovich before the game. I mean, I could just sense the confidence that he had. Granted, they're coming off a loss to Susquehanna Township last week, but he feels really good about this group of guys out there, and they're really showing it out there tonight for sure.
Well, they certainly know what they can do. I mean, we talked about their schedule before we went on air here tonight for Trinity. They took care of business against the teams that they should have taken care of business against, but then you pick up that win against West Perry to extend a win streak to 6. Then you really start feeling good about yourself, even in spite of that loss to Susquehanna Township last week.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, and, you know, they're in the 3A classification. So, you know, Middletown is in the 4A classification. You know, there's a significant difference in, talent in that 3A class versus the 4A class. I mean, not to besmirch any of the 3A teams out there,
no, of course
but,
not.
you know, there is a real depth of talent in the 4A District 3 tournament when you consider, you know, you got Susquehanna Township and Twin Valley, and, oh, my, it's just a rough out there.
Well, Luis Roman turned on the Jets there on that far side, blasted on forward to bring up 3rd and 2 for this Middletown offense, looking for an answer after Trinity took their lead for the first time a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I might have to start doing some scoreboard watching my own self here with my phone as we get into the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the games that you would want to keep a particularly close eye on, especially if you're Middletown, is West Perry playing Greencastle tonight. I suppose same goes for Trinity as well. And, of course, plenty of other teams in District 3 as the snap goes through the hands of Ortiz, and that'll set him back a ways, completely undoes that run from Luis Roman on 3rd and 2, and so Middletown will have to kick it away.
Yeah, 4th down. Hey, look, there's still a lot of game left, and the thing Middletown's got to do is remain patient.
Well, remain patient, and you've seen at the end of the second quarter and here to open the second half, some ball handling issues here for particularly the Blue Raiders, so taking care of the ball becoming more paramount here in the second half.
Oof.
The punt certainly has some pressure on it. It's a favorable bounce for Trinity as it is just shy of the 40. Mark it down at about the 39.
That's really good starting position for the Shamrocks. Now I think the pressure right now is on the Middletown defense. They need to make a stand here to get their offense back on the field. I think it's an important juncture of the game that they've got to try and keep this a one-score game for the Blue Raiders.
And, I mean, as you mentioned with that last drive for Trinity where they went all the way and scored to take their first lead of the night, you feel the tide turning in favor of the Shamrocks, and to put a little stop to that here from Middletown gives a big boost on both sides of the ball. They'll start with it from the 39-yard line. The Shamrocks leading 21-14. 4:12 left here in the third quarter. Final week of the regular season. Harris with another run, dancing past a couple defenders through the contact, just shy of the 45-yard line.
You know, he is a big back. He runs with speed. But, boy, the best thing about him is his feet. I mean, he's got those feet that just can move on a dime. Really impressive running back there, number 26 there, Brandon Harris. I'm going to keep my eye on him, that's for sure.
Defense certainly keep an eye on him, too, for the Middletown Blue Raiders. Second and 5 from the 44.
And just what I was talking about, too, they've kind of put a blocking back in there for Harris here this half.
A little floater pass finds Yeager. Yeager trying to take it for another gain of about 2 yards. Gets him a little bit closer to the line to gain.
3rd and 3.
Well, a little fake of the handoff there to Harris, and then just kind of shoveled forward from Boyer.
Not sure what all the fans are shouting about. They seem to be pretty adamant about something down there. I mean, you know, we are just right on top of the field from our broadcast position. We're literally as if the stands, where the stands would normally begin on any football field, and we're elevated by about 40 or 50 feet. So we're literally right on top of the field.
Oh, Harris carries that one, but the pile is right there to meet him for the Blue Raiders. And so that brings up 4th and 1. Big spot here, especially for the Middletown defense.
See, I know Coach Yarnovich has a lot of confidence in his guys, but I'm kicking. I'm a conservative guy, especially when, your team's playing as good as they're playing.
21-14, 4th and 1 from the 48, 2:11 to go here in the third quarter, and a jump.
Yep.
Wow.
And Middletown could have come up with a stop on 4th down, but instead they give it to the Shamrocks.
Yeah, you could see he encroached the nose tackle there, put his helmet in the neutral zone, and that's all that's required in high school football.
Well, another break goes in favor of the Shamrocks, and we talked about taking care of the ball, but also things like that. This has been a pretty clean and well-disciplined game when it comes to penalties and little mistakes like that, but those loom all the larger here as we wind down the third quarter.
Well, we talked about how ball control was important for Middletown. Trinity's just possessed the ball just about the entire third quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Harris is a man-possessed the way he's running the ball down to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up the 2nd and 3.
Yeah, look at here, going through the hole there. He's just he's only going to get so much better.
Already pretty solid with the ball spotted at about the 40-yard line. You talk about ball control, you talk about time of possession. That's something that Trinity's really done a nice job of here tonight. So it definitely puts a little more pressure on Middletown to take advantage of the opportunities they get and maybe press a little too much. 1:10 left to play in the third quarter. 2nd and 2. Hand off to Harris again, plowing on forward. I don't think he got enough, though.
Yeah, I don't think
so
that
he
was
short
Harris.
by about 1.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, no, it was Dalton. And Dalton's that back that they started bringing in alongside Harris.
Mm-hmm, right. And,
here in the second half.
And that's smart, too. You have to make sure that they're just not just totally keying on Harris. And I would use that back to kind of create some misdirection in the backfield because they're going to key on him as where, Harris is going to follow. But maybe fake it to him and have Harris go the opposite way.
So on 3rd and 1, Boyer under center, hands off to Harris. Harris with a running head of steam.
Harris up the middle.
It is enough.
Create some misdirection in the backfield because they're going to key on him as where.
A fresh set of downs for the Shamrocks on another run by Harris, and that was just another one of those ones where you get in the slingshot and you ride the momentum across the 1 yard to gain, and it'll be a 1st down and 10 from the 36, but not before the third quarter ends. The clock winds down. It's a 21-14 lead for the Shamrocks, trying to hang on to the lead, their first lead here of the night. Glad you could join us for some Friday Night Football here on PennLive.com, brought to you by our friends at Constellation Energy. A crisp night here in Camp Hill. Trinity High School up in the Crow's Nest. We'll bring you on up into the Crow's Nest here in a moment.
And there we are. How about that?
Becoming a more well-oiled machine as the season goes on. It is the last week of the regular season after all. Bruce Badgley, John Wenger, myself, PJ Rydell. Certainly glad you've been along for the ride with us here tonight for this game. Again, to wrap up the regular season, implications for this one for sure. And Trinity really taking control here since about partway through the second quarter.
Yeah, there was just one possession for Middletown in the third quarter. A couple of nice drives by Trinity. But I tell you what, it's going to be one that this Middletown defense has been under a lot of pressure from Trinity. They're kind of showing all their weapons. Boyer has been able to distribute the ball amongst them very, very well. There's been some imaginative play calling. So Trinity looking really sharp so far, John. What do you think?
It's been very good. And, again, that big penalty by Middletown just a few minutes ago on that encroachment. Going to be a big turning point in this game because it keeps this drive going for Trinity. And, boy, Middletown's offense is really going to need to get back on the field here.
Yeah, certainly not a lot of mistakes tonight, but the ones that have been made have been pretty consequential as it's 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line to start the fourth quarter as Harris gets away around the left side, brought down at the 25-yard line. Another big run by Harris.
Again on the tackle.
He did get enough for the first down, so that moves the chains yet again. The Shamrocks with just some really good-looking drives here since about partway through the second quarter.
Yeah, really good job, even downfield blocking by the receivers on that play. But Harris running like, as you said a little earlier, like a man possessed.
He certainly has looked that way. The ball at the 25-yard line. Fresh set of downs for Trinity. 11:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter just getting underway. Once again, Boyer right under center. He's got Dalton, and he's got Harris behind him. And he hands off to Harris again. Harris wrapped up that time. Not so much wrapped up as it just, well, there was a fence there and nothing he could do about it.
Again on the carry.
Carry for maybe 1 yard.
Sawyer on the
Looks like
tackle.
we got a player
Amongst
down.
others. Second down.
Fortunately, for the most part, the injuries have been fairly limited here tonight, too. This is only the second time that we've stopped play for an injury of any kind. And the first one I don't believe was particularly consequential. Unfortunately, getting up pretty quickly here from Middletown after the apparent injury is Avery Waits. Called his name a couple times earlier in the game, making some nice plays on defense. So hopefully for the Blue Raiders, he can get back in quickly.
Yeah.
Off under his own power, but kind of grabbing that left hamstring. So here's to hoping for the best for him.
Yeah, let's hope for the best for sure.
Shamrocks took a knee in a circle, and they're back up after the brief injury timeout to make their way to the line of scrimmage for 2nd and 9 from the 24-yard line. Middletown jumped out with a big play to Zenon to make it 7-0 in the first. Then Trinity answered right back in the very next drive to make it 7-7. Middletown retook the lead 14-7 on yet another big play by Zenon, but since then, Trinity with back-to-back answers for their first lead of the night, trying to hang on to it with another touchdown right down the middle. And Jasinski was right there for the catch from Boyer. It's a 24-yard touchdown and a 2-score game now for the Shamrocks.
Well, you could just see that. I even said it during the play. Oh, my. And Jasinski has really emerged here this second half, but Boyer right on the mark.
Yeah, I love that play call. I was about to say before that play, I mean, it's been a pretty balanced attack between the pass and the run for Trinity throughout this game, but they really started focusing on the run that drive, and then they pull out a play-action pass and catch them off guard downfield for the touchdown. So just perfect execution for Trinity.
And 4 for 4 on the night is Logan Amatucci.
Amatucci. That's one.
And that makes it
Shamrocks
a
28,
28-14 game.
Well, I felt going into that drive, it was very, very important that Middletown defense try and keep it a one-score game. And now, I'll tell you what, Middletown's got their work cut out for them right now, because Trinity has been able to move the ball really at will toward the latter part of the first half, and now virtually the entire second half so far. Middletown's got to do something on offense really, really quickly, I think, if they expect to get back in this game.
Yeah, try to break out another one of those big plays that they saw, get them out to that early lead in the first half, I should say. The kick just past the 25-yard line. Thought about it for a second and now trying to find the edge on that far side. Kind of looking for a big play there on the punt, but brought down at the 30-yard line after the return from Middletown.
By number 7,
was
Javon Mosley.
And there's our friend, the illuminated down marker. I'll tell you, that should be like standard operating procedure for schools. There's very few of them out there, but it is such an advantage when you're trying to look up quickly to be able to, when you're broadcasting a game, to give down a distance.
I was going to say, do they even have those in, like, the NFL or, like, I haven't seen it there.
The only other one that I would see pretty regularly, I know Berks Catholic had one that I really enjoyed, all the time. Did their games for years, and the proverbial illuminated down marker. We always made a lot of fun, the fun comments about it. But when you're broadcasting a game, it's real easy to pick up down the distance.
Well, especially at some fields where they're not quite as well lit once you
Yeah.
get past the sidelines, especially when they have the old lighting. I mean, we've got all these new LEDs at so many of these fields, so it doesn't make quite as much of a difference as maybe it once did. But
Or a large stadium where you have kind of a difficult time. Now, for us, since we're basically right on top of the action, it's not that big a deal here. But, you know, bigger venues, it's a huge advantage.
we've got pretty much no excuse to get anything wrong here tonight with our conditions. 28-14, Shamrocks are on top. Middletown looking to find a way to answer and get back into this one, and immediately met after the reception there. Ross with the reception, but the tackle made by David Odubo.
But you can see just a great route. And look, those defensive backs there are giving them a little bit of space there. That was a Dubo with the tackle there. But they're not going to get beat deep. They're going to keep everything in front of them.
2nd and 2 from the 38-yard line after the reception by Ross. Now it's a handoff to Paul. Paul trying to plow forward, but he didn't quite get there. It'd be a gain of maybe 1.
Gavin Paul on the carry, stacked up by Marcus Yeager and friends.
Never mind, he did get there. Okay, I didn't think he quite got there, but I suppose
First down.
he did. All right.
That's a first
So it was
down
enough.
for
They
the
spot it
Raiders.
just barely at the 40-yard line, enough to move the chains from Middletown. They'll certainly take a fresh set of downs here. This is a crucial drive for the Blue Raiders. Down now by 2 scores and 9:45 left on the clock. Ortiz looks left, finds Zenon in the middle and just barely couldn't quite come down with it, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, it was high.
He had to contort a little bit, but it was there.
Yeah, it was, but there were a lot of defenders around him too. You go up and expose yourself in
Yes.
right in the middle of the field. I don't think so.
There has to be a little bit of self-preservation considered in plays like that. Zenon, a senior, looking on to bigger things after this.
Yeah, reaching up. I think they said he was going to Massachusetts during the senior night festivities.
And a sack there, a big play for the Trinity defense coming up with the stop.
Yeah, Dalton was in there too. Watch him.
Mulball.
Yeah, Dalton too. Ooh, yeah. It's the first time we've called Mulba's a name tonight, but he's been a force on that defensive line.
Yeah, we've seen him involved for sure. Haven't called his name a ton, but he's certainly been in there in the trenches. Got to give the guys on the line some love. And the ball will stay spotted at the 40-yard line. So 3rd and 10. Middletown really needing to keep this drive alive some way, somehow. Ortiz handles the snap. The line holds the pressure for the moment, fires forward, and he had his man Ross, but Ross got twisted up and couldn't quite come down with it. That brings up 4th down for this Blue Raider offense, looking for an answer.
Would have been a tough catch, but you got to make that, just oof.
Yeah, and you got the safety coming down as well. He was going to get popped if he had brought that in.
Yeah, much like Zenon trying to make that play at the 50-yard line. You can't blame them for a little bit of self-preservation.
And they're going for it, 4th and 10, ball's on the 40. Can't disagree with this call at all by Coach Ortiz.
Yeah, you got to have that urgency. You got to look for that big play, 4th and 10 from
Got
the
to
40.
trust your team. You got to trust your team.
9:27 left here in the 4th quarter, 28-14. Blue Raiders trailing. Ross makes his way to the left. What was looking for him was Ortiz. Instead, he takes it forward himself. Now he gets it to Ross. Ross has some space, trying to get the first down. He does get it to the 49-yard line, just enough, and a flag flies. Some late extracurriculars there on the far sideline, but he does get the first down.
What a great job by Ortiz. He acts like he's going to run. He brings the defenders up, and then
Yeah, Ross was calling for it the whole time.
exactly. And then Ross gets the ball and then gets across the line to gain, and then tack on 15 on top of that, that's a 25-yard play. Incredible.
Yeah, nicely played to get the first down, and of course to convert on fourth down. Most importantly, that keeps the drive alive for Middletown as we wait to see those flags assessed. It is a 15-yard penalty against Trinity, so now Middletown really giving a little shot in the arm here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, boy, that just shows you that, and as only a sophomore, J.J. Ortiz just really showing a lot of poise under pressure.
Oh, Harrison Ortiz, you mean?
Or Harrison Ortiz,
yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah.
J.J. Ortiz.
I don't think coach is out there chucking the ball at this point.
Harrison
I
Ortiz,
don't think they're in a desperation position quite yet. It took me a second. Harrison Ortiz rolls out, finds a man, just has to improvise, gets it to Paul. Paul all the way.
That's a first down almost.
Almost. You think he'll be just about a yard short of the line to gain, but nice little improvisation there by Harrison Ortiz to get the ball to Paul. Just find the open man and try to make something of it.
Yeah, let's just say that pass was received beyond the line of scrimmage, and there were a lot of linemen downfield.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, nicely played to kind of make something of it, though. 2nd and 1 from the 25. Oh, in and out of the hands of Zenon. There's one you know he wants back. And it brings up 3rd and 1. Boy, the ball bouncing out of the hands of the ref there, too. Something's in the air tonight.
I'll tell you what, for Zenon, that's about as open as he's been in this second half.
Yeah.
And he had it right on his hands. That's a killer.
Yeah, since his second touchdown.
Well, look, 3rd and 1. And Middletown still driving, still some good time left in this game, but they need 7 here.
Yeah, they put together a nice drive. Got to convert here, either on 3rd or 4th. It's 3rd and 1 right now from the 25. The handoff goes to Roman, but he goes backwards. Did they say he got it, though, before
I don't know.
He started going in reverse? I don't think he did, and it doesn't look like the refs think so either.
No, we're going to be it's 4th down on the illuminated down marker.
Yeah, 4th and 1. And it didn't go anywhere. Roman not able to make any positive progress. So a huge spot here once again to try to convert on 4th down for the second time in this drive and get themselves back into this game for the Blue Raiders. On 4th down, the handoff to Roman, trying to find some room on the left edge, and he certainly finds some room. Finally out at about the 15-yard line, more than enough for the first down.
Well, and that's a name that we hadn't called much, lately, and that I felt was an important part of this game for Middletown. It seems to be back in the offensive flow. They've got a first down inside the 15.
1st and 10 from the 14. Middletown looking to make this a one-score game again. Down under 8 minutes left to play. Ortiz, quick pass. Had the pressure right on him, so not much time to make that decision. And just chucks it into the ground, kind of looking towards the left side there, perhaps for Queen.
Yeah, Queen was, just blanketed with coverage. I think he just kind of threw that in the ground because he didn't want to have it intercepted.
Well, he had pressure coming right at him, too, in the pocket, and he didn't have enough time to really – I don't even think Queen had enough time to turn around before he had to just get rid of it to avoid the sack. So 2nd and 10 from the 14. Ortiz this time rolling right. Finds Zenon. Zenon handles it. Down at the 5, maybe inside the 4 after a little bit of extra running after the catch. It's enough for a first down. That's all that really matters at this point.
Absolutely.
So 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line.
And they got to keep this going here because clock is running.
Yeah, there has to be some urgency. 7.5. And we've certainly seen Trinity really chew up time on the clock. Or one of their touchdown drives, about a 5.5-minute drive. The handoff to Roman, trying to find some room on the left edge. Couldn't quite get there. Maybe a gain of 1, and that'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and, they do have to try and get this touchdown quickly, and that saves some time here. But on the flip side, that Trinity defense, they're just doing a good job keeping the Blue Raiders out of the end zone.
No gain on the play, they said, so it should be still on the 3-yard line for second down. Middletown down 28-14, trying to get back into this. That nearly intercepted, batted away by a couple different Trinity defenders. The last Trinity defender to get a hand on that one was Gavin Mann. We've seen him get a hand on a couple passes here tonight. Once again, disrupting that play, and that brings up now 3rd and 1 on the 1-yard line. Well, I think the ball is actually at the 3rd. The scoreboard says the 1-yard line, but it looks like it's still at the 3-yard line. So 3rd and 3, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 3.
6:43 left to play. Trying to keep it himself as Ortiz nearly tripped up and finally hit hard as he tried to improvise and find some room on the right side. Boy, that trip was huge, because if he didn't get tripped and slow down there, he might have had a chance to get around the edge.
That was not a designed play for the quarterback to run the football there. He kind of juggled the snap a little bit. That was a designed handoff to go to, I think, Roman there, and that was an improvisation that got hammered by the Shamrocks. So 4th down and goal.
Shamrock sideline getting loud, hoping for a big stop here, but not before a Middletown timeout, which seems like a good time to thank our friends at Constellation Energy for bringing the energy in this back-and-forth game and bringing the energy for every Friday night football game here on PennLive.com. Big thanks to them for making these games free to you.
Energy, powering America's growing economy every minute, every day. As the nation's largest producer of clean and reliable American-made energy, Constellation is wherever you are. From families to corner stores to manufacturers to the biggest data centers. We meet the nation's energy needs by generating emissions-free electricity today and for our future.
Once again, thanks to our friends at Constellation Energy for bringing the energy here tonight and all throughout the regular season. Hard to believe the regular season is coming to an end here tonight.
Incredible.
And we've got a good one here. A back-and-forth affair now in favor of the Shamrocks, and they're looking for a big defensive stop here. 4th and 4 for the Middletown offense. Trying to find a way to get back into this one. 4th and goal, I should say, from the 4-yard line. Ortiz steps back, gets a pass through the middle, but couldn't get there. Flags fly, though. Wait a second. We might have a pass interference call.
Boy, let's see that. He's trying to throw this through a lot of arms. That's all I know.
A lot of traffic there, and there was a lot of contact there in the end zone, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the call is. There is a Trinity player down at the moment here as well.
Wow, the flag was definitive. And, you know, the question in my mind is whether it was a catchable ball or not. And I'm sure that's what the officials are talking about.
Yeah, watching it live, I wouldn't have said it was catchable, but we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I don't think I would have said that either, but you know, there was that call earlier.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So it's hard to say. There's a reason we're up here.
It's holding. It wasn't interference. It was holding. So that has no bearing on whether it was or was not a catchable ball.
Doesn't matter. No more need for speculation. And again, that was against the defense, so that does help out Middletown a little bit. But when you're inside the 4-yard line,
it's not an automatic. It's not an automatic first down. So it's 4th down and goal
from the 2-yard
inside
line.
the 2.
Yeah. Now, of course, we still got an injured Shamrock on the field, so we're still holding on for that. But 6:03 left to go. 28-14. Trinity is on top, trying to hang on here. Middletown running out of time to mount a comeback, but would certainly need a score here to really give themselves much of any chance. And it is 4th and goal from the 2-yard line when we resume play. Shamrock players still receiving some attention there on the field. Glad you could join us on PennLive.com. John Wenger, Bruce Badgley, myself, PJ Rydell. Always a joy to spend Friday nights with you.
Yeah, I want to take this time to thank all of the fans that watch these games on Friday night, but also all the fans that are watching the games of some of the sports that we're doing during the week there. PennLive really appreciates it. But the one thing that I can tell you, that the schools and the teams really appreciate it too. They appreciate the added attention, and excitement of a game, televised on PennLive. I mean, it's been a labor of love for us, and getting this additional live streaming going here this year, and on a personal level, I want to thank PennLive for their commitment in showcasing athletes of all sports, and that's the mantra of PennLive is it isn't just football, it isn't just the big sports, it's all sports. And if you were at the the PennLive Sports Awards last year, my God, they had like Diver of the Year and Track Athlete of the Year. So they feature all athletes in all teams, in all classifications. So, and there's our buddy John panning the crowd here. Pretty good crowd on hand. This was senior night and homecoming, all wrapped into one. We're right on top of the visiting bleachers, so we can't pan down, but Middletown has brought a really fine contingency. So 4th and goal. Here we go, PJ.
Yeah, get a lot riding on this game, and of course a lot riding on this upcoming play too. But just in case there wasn't enough drama, we're going to wait a little bit longer because they have called a timeout. Trinity has called a timeout specifically after the injury. So they'll talk some things over on the defensive end of things. But like to your point about the streaming here and what it's become in just the last couple of years, all these athletes, they just want to hear their name called. So
sure.
It really is cool. It's a privilege to be able to do that. And, of course, we can't do that without the support of fans, without the support of sponsors. There's a lot that goes into this. Athletic departments. It is cool to be a part of, calling these guys names, the kind of things that they'll remember for a lifetime.
Yeah, and look, we do it in some pretty tough conditions. I mean,
yeah.
It's certainly, we talked about it, you pointed out your own donning of the jacket, your own self. Thankfully, the wind isn't blowing. Otherwise, it would be just downright freezing cold for us. But here we go, 4th and goal.
We have fared very well as far as the weather's gone this season.
Yes,
Thank
we
God
have.
for that. But as you said, here we go. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Middletown with only 6:03 left to mount a 2-score comeback. 28-14. Shamrocks are on top. Ortiz flanked to the right by Gavin Paul. Paul gets the ball, takes it on in, almost undeterred. Touchdown, Middletown. They're not dead yet.
I'll tell you what, that was a gutsy call. And quite honestly, Trinity is not expecting Paul to run the ball at the goal line. And look at that. They pull the offside guard and also a receiver through the hole there. Big hole. And boy, oh boy, have we got some drama.
Back to a 1-score game with 6 minutes left to play. And the kick is good.
That kick through the upright.
That was a big extra point. Usually I have time to throw that in there, but that was a huge extra point in that, and it was virtually automatic.
So it is a 1-score game again. Middletown just in need of another touchdown. They've got 6 minutes to get a stop against the Trinity offense, which that has been a tough task for them here in the second half.
Tough task, and now everything squarely on this Middletown defense to get the ball back for the offense. They've had a difficult time stopping this Trinity offense tonight with the amount of weapons at Mason Boyer's disposal. So interested to see what the Middletown coaching staff draws up to put the kibosh on the Shamrocks.
Made contact with the Shamrock there past the 30-yard line, and a flag on the play all the way back at the other 40, though. Offsides on Middletown.
They're going to back them up 5.
So we'll see some more mistakes again. Again, these things that kind of build up.
They got a good field goal kicker. They need to, kind of kick it away. I mean, sometimes you know, you think that you're doing the right thing by keeping it away from, you know, the playmakers that are deep. But in essence, what you're doing is providing just handing great field position over to your opponent.
And again, against an offense that has just been clicking on all cylinders, really, since midway through the second quarter. Got to do whatever you can to not help out Trinity anymore if you're the Middletown defense.
And there's a deep kick.
That one finds its way out of bounds, though, by the 20-yard line.
He's going to back him up some more.
So, again, just the little things. It's a game of inches, and the little things kind of feeling like they're piling up on Middletown, but certainly not out of time. 6 minutes left. Need to get a stop here and get the ball back and find a way to put together another good drive.
Looks like the ball is going to go on the 40-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
Pretty good field position for this Trinity offense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what they do here. Do they focus on the run to drain the clock? Do they try to be aggressive with the pass game? They've had a good mix of it all day, but you can't be too conservative here.
No, and you don't want to risk giving the ball up either.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty hard to imagine that they're not going to ride that Brandon Harris in this situation. This is what he's there for.
And I would think they would get Dalton more involved, too, if they're going to commit to the run, try to provide a little misdirection like you were talking about earlier, Bruce. So
But I don't think
let's see
Harris
how they
is in
involve.
there.
We'll see how they involve everybody here. Yeah, I don't see Harris. He's still got Dalton in there, though. The handoff doesn't go to Dalton. Instead, they find a man rolling all the way out to the 50-yard line down to Sutton this time, getting his name called.
Yeah.
A good run by him, though, too.
It was a good run by him. And Dalton, a nice block, lead block.
Although Dalton is down currently for Trinity, so that could change things, too.
Yeah, he got – and timeout here for the injury there. But, gosh, you wonder what might be the situation going on with Brandon Harris, because this is the time in a game that you would expect that you're going to give it to, you know, the back who brought you.
Yeah,
So
it will be interesting
I
to see.
I don't see anything with him going on the sidelines that I can tell.
Yeah, with 5:44 left, it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. Dalton's walking off under his own power, so at least that's a good sign for the Shamrocks. But kind of an interesting development here on this drive for Trinity.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not seeing Harris in the game.
That'll bring up 2nd and 2.
So, I mean, you would think that if he could play, he'd be in there right now.
Boyer under center. Again, got 2 backs behind him. Down to Sutton with a nice run to move him to 2nd and 2 all the way to the 48-yard line. Now it's another handoff, this time right up the gut. Looking for something, not quite enough for the yard to gain, though, so it'll bring up 3rd down after a pile of bodies there. That run that time handled by Shields.
Yeah, interesting. And I scoping the sideline there, I don't see Harris.
3rd down.
So it had been Harris and Dalton for the majority of the game. Now you got Shields and Sutton in there. But you also have to give the credit where the credit's due to the offensive line for Trinity as well, making it possible for all these different backs. Now it's just Sutton back there, and up to the line is Shields. Trying to get a flinch, and they do flinch.
Illegal procedure against Trinity.
And Trinity gets called for that one, and in a drive where they really needed to kind of, drive the stake home, they go backwards on 3rd down. Middletown not going away and forcing the issue here. The door is still not closed. The ball back just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, clearly there's something wrong with Brandon Harris, because you're not bringing in your 3rd string running back when you need a yard. in the fourth quarter. So
Well, you're on 3rd and 4th at this point.
Yeah.
For the Shamrocks, and they're got a 3rd and 6 on the 44-yard line. Boyer airs it out to the near side, or far side, I should say, and he's got the first down once again to who else but Jarzynski.
Yeah, they have been a deadly combination here in this game. But look at that, a clean pocket. Good job by the offensive line with the protection and a perfect out, first down.
Yeah, he goes out of bounds, though, and I think he was upset with himself after the play. If he goes straight down, this clock keeps ticking under 4 minutes, so we're stuck at 4:01 now. So,
well, the important thing is he got the first down.
Yeah, important.
Yeah, that 4th down certainly does extend the possibility of the clock moving. 1 timeout remaining for the Shamrocks, 2 left on the scoreboard for Middletown.
Yeah, I got to believe this is just a dive play.
1st and 10 from the 48. The handoff to Sutton. Sutton nearly tripped up, stays alive, and runs right into a wall. Gavin Paul laid a boom on him as he tried to get to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, he just got buried in there.
Nice.
Sutton's a senior, but bam.
Well, as we talk about the backs, Shields is checking out, and Dalton is back in, but still no sign of Harris.
Yeah, Brandon Harris. So he's clearly, not coming back in. So 2nd down, this is just an important series here for Trinity. They can get this first down. They can pretty much just salt the game away.
But again, all these backs have looked good, and the offensive line certainly doing their part in that. Boyer under center, 2nd and 7. And the whistle before the snap.
Flag on the play, delay a game.
After the flag, 2nd and 12 now. 2nd and very long from the 50-yard line for the Shamrocks. Would be a big stop for the Middletown defense if they can come up with it. Boyer trying to bail him out. Gets the pass to the near side, and once again another big hit after the reception. Keon Nimmons came down with it, but a huge hit there. You hear the clash of the helmets, but fortunately it seems like everybody is mostly all right. Queen's a little shaken up, though, for Middletown.
Yeah, he was the one that put the licking on the receiver there.
But he's the one that kind of comes up limping just a smidge.
So 2:39 here.
No shortage of dramatics.
3rd down, about 6. Clearly, it's ball game if the Shamrocks get a first down. So, what is Middletown going to do? Well, I got to believe that they're going to be throwing the football. I'm sending the kitchen sink at Mason Boyer and, hope that you get to him before he can, kind of get it out to receiver. It means a pretty short, quick pass if they blitz, and then hope that your defenders can make a tackle. So clearly a pass here. He's in shotgun formation.
Yeah, there are still timeouts left on the board, but getting a stop here would be huge for the Middletown defense. 3rd and 6 from the 44.
Them out. They are
Boyer
blitzing.
Rolling back. He's got pressure. Receiver out wide. He goes down with it. The reception to Marcus Yeager.
Wow.
Moves the chains and then some, and boy, that feels like a dagger.
And as I said, they threw the kitchen sink at him. Really good coverage there. Yeager goes up, and great grab there.
A nice grab by Yeager. You have to think that Boyer knew the whole kitchen was coming at him. Yeager fired up, and rightfully so, as the Shamrocks move the ball all the way down to the 21-yard line. A flag flies there after Some of the extracurriculars and the Shamrocks taking their time, and so the first set of downs will have to wait. Jaeger's been fired up.
Yeah, he
after
has
that
been.
catch, and I'm not sure. I originally thought he was just fired up because he made the catch. It was like an excited, but the more I watch, it's more of an angry fired up.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if maybe some of the contact he thought there should have been a flag or something.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to name a player of the game here there, Mr. Rydell. So stay tuned for that, gang. We still got a couple minutes here. We don't know.
With the way Trinity has played here in the second half, I'm kind of torn between two guys. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to come up with something pretty quick. We won't say it on the air right now.
I know we've talked off the air a little bit, but I'm just not so certain now. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some guys you could really, a bunch of guys you could certainly rightfully award.
Yeah.
Again, taking some more time here. Officials conferring with the Trinity players mostly, I suppose. So a first and very long after the penalty against Trinity, after Jaeger was fired up on that catch, and they are most certainly taking their time, and understandably so, because it is 1st and 25. If they could get a jump from Middletown, that would certainly help them. They don't get it there, and the ball comes out.
Oh, my
Middletown
God.
lands on it. It's a Middletown ball. This game is not over yet.
Oh, my
Middletown
gosh.
recovers the fumble with 90 seconds left to play.
Well, there's not having your number one running back, and it's fumbled away. Oh, my goodness.
And that's after the penalties set them backwards to begin with. And all of a sudden, some big mistakes from Trinity, who's played mostly mistake-free football all night, at maybe the worst time to do so. Give the ball up and give a jolt of energy to the Middletown sideline.
And give a jolt of energy to us in this broadcast booth. Oh, my goodness.
Giving Constellation Energy a run for their money and bringing the energy. And, again, thanks to them for bringing us our action here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Middletown given new life. Xenon comes up with it, and Xenon has some room to work with.
Look at this.
Xenon gets the first down.
He's still on it.
Xenon has some space on the near
God,
edge.
look at
Here he goes. Xenon going down the near sideline. Can he get past the defender? Not quite. Yes, he does. It's a tie game for the moment, or could be a tie game for the moment. There's a flag at the 40-yard line. Let's hold on a moment. But, oh, my, what a turn of events.
Touchdown flag on the play.
Flag back at the 40-yard line. Xenon took off from the Trinity 33. Let's hang on a second.
I'm mystified here as far as what the flag is.
It would be a 67-yard touchdown for Xenon, his third huge touchdown of the night. It's a good thing we haven't decided on our Constellation player of the game yet. And so the officials taking some time to confer here to make sure they get this right, because that is a huge play. It would be a 67-yard touchdown if it counts. The flag flew at the 40 before he made his way into the end zone.
Well, we've got the coaches in the box here. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, so the touchdown should count. But that might affect but that might affect the extra point here.
Touchdown.
So a 67-yard touchdown is good for Xenon. He's got a hat trick, his third touchdown.
Third touchdown
of the game.
Well, and you know what? Middletown, I heard him talking over here about going for two, but with this penalty, I mean, what do they do here now? Because that's going to be
that's the thing here. Now, what is this unsportsmanlike penalty going to do? They can't go for two.
Yeah, they got to kick it. So
they're going to have to kick it. Oh, my.
Bruce, you mentioned their kicker earlier. He's got a good leg. Well, he's going to be tested here.
Way back.
This is for your season.
Long kick coming up here. Boy, you want to talk about dramatics.
Here we go.
Taking their time. As you mentioned, could be for the season for Brockman. He's all the way back on the 25-yard line. It's a 35-yard kick.
He's centered, so he's straight onto it.
28-27, Trinity on top. Middletown's kick is blocked. Blocked kick for the Trinity defense.
Incredible.
Huge special teams play could have just sealed the game.
Let's see if we can get a look on who blocks it. Oh! Incredible. It was the edge guy.
The score remains Shamrocks 28.
I think it was Jerzinski, but don't quote me on that.
Man alive. You want to talk about a game to wrap up the regular season?
Oh.
You've got it here in Camp Hill. 28-27, the Shamrocks hanging on for dear life after a massive run by Zenon. Reignited the Middletown sideline. The penalty, though, backed up the extra point, and the extra point was blocked.
Well, that's not the first time that this special teams play for Trinity has gotten a block. They had a partially blocked punt earlier, and they've gotten close on some of these field goals. They finally got one. I mean, they've been playing really well, and they finally got one there at the biggest moment.
Yeah, exactly. When it counted the most.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
they even started the game recovering the onside kick on
Right.
the opening kickoff.
Well,
I mean,
and now
you want to talk about the
Middletown's-
special teams here.
Yeah, Middletown's going to have to get their own now.
Yeah, got to find a miracle somewhere
Yep.
for this Middletown team.
Wow.
Take a breath, everyone. We're coming in for a landing.
Oh, my. Yes, we are.
That was what the Sixers broadcaster, right? Mark
Yeah,
Zumov always used to say.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're coming in for a landing. Trying our best here in some turbulent conditions here in Camp Hill.
Well, look, it's got to be an onside kick. I mean,
yeah. It was John was just saying, yeah.
This has got to be an onside kick.
Got to find a way to come up with it. So Trinity needing one more play from their special teams unit to try to lock this thing up. For Middletown, it's for the season. For Trinity, it's for a first round, or it's for a bye in the district playoffs.
Yeah, a likely first round bye.
More than likely.
And at least a home game. Oh, look, that was – it doesn't really much matter that there were 12 guys on the field. There's going to be a penalty against the Shamrocks, but it's going to move the ball to midfield and could help if Middletown does recover the onside kick.
And once again, it was Yeager in the middle of that, continuing to be really fired up, and rightfully so. Very animated. And so here comes the onside kick, essentially for the season for Middletown. And it doesn't quite make it.
Nope.
The flags fly immediately.
Yeah.
Offsides.
And it's offsides.
Yeah, so they're going to back the ball up 5 yards. I don't know if they can decline. I think they can decline, yeah, because I think in the case now to save, injuries or whatever like that, when there's an offsides, the play gets blown dead.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Yeah, that one immediately called.
But they declined it, which I can't understand. But here we go again. Here we go again. Oh!
And it nearly got out. Who came up with it? I think Trinity has it. It looks like the Shamrocks were the last one to get it.
Oh, my God. It was
Who else but Brandon Harris? Boy, I'll tell you what, Harris has come up huge in this game so many times and really came up big there with that recovery.
Well,
so I guess Harris is okay. I mean, they brought him in for that.
Well, he didn't have to run.
Yeah.
Or anything. So
he's going right back off the field.
Yeah, he's going right off the field. And he obviously, he played a very important part of this game. And with the minute 4, considering that we had a turnover just moments ago, I think we're going to wait before we announce our
Yeah, I keep wanting to say, let's just do it. But nope. But that's how you want these games to be, right? You want it to come right down to the wire. And, boy, I'll tell you what. I mean, we've had a lot of good games this year. But,
this is the
boy,
best
I'll tell
one.
you what. This might be the best way to wrap up the regular season.
Absolutely. Clearly, the most drama involved in the entire season, and wow, what a fitting end to the regular season. But hey, it's not over for us. We're going to be doing postseason football here with Penn Live. We're also going to be. I know that I'll be broadcasting some postseason field hockey and/or soccer. There's still a lot of sports yet to come here. Meaningful games. Win or go home. You can't get much more meaningful than that.
And from Middletown, again, playing for their season essentially here tonight, or at least to have control of their own destiny. So both these teams hoping that they'll live to see another day after this one. But if they don't, I mean, what a run to end the regular season that this Middletown team went on. I mean, that you get those back-to-back wins, get yourself back in it. They put up a real fight here tonight. You have that thrilling touchdown at the end there. If it wasn't for that penalty and that timely block by the Trinity special teams, you could be talking about a tie game here.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about the fight you've seen from the Blue Raiders here tonight.
Yeah,
in the last several weeks.
Just incredible. And then what an effort by Nikias Xenon tonight for Middletown in a losing effort.
Yeah, I'm seeing him. He's over here on the sideline walking around by himself, pretty distraught. He's got a coach coming over to console him a little bit.
Well, he's a senior.
And
it may be his last game.
And what a game it was. I mean, him in open field, there's nothing more dangerous. And he had a heck of a game, but in the end, enough.
That's right. And in the end, PJ, our MVP is.
Well, I think we're gonna have to go with Mason Boyer.
Yes,
I mean, the way that he conducted the offense once they really got comfortable and got in a rhythm, it all started with him. I mean, he was able to find Jarzynski for those 2 touchdowns. I mean, some big plays there. He really kind of kept them even keel, and that balanced offensive attack that we saw tonight from Trinity, I mean, it started with Mason Boyer. So he's going to be our Constellation Energy player of the game here tonight on PennLive.com. Glad you've been able to join us for this thrilling victory to wrap up the regular season for the Trinity Shamrocks. Middletown now hoping to watch the scoreboards and hope some things go their way. Glad you could join us on PennLive.com. For John Wenger, for Bruce Badgley, and myself, PJ Rydell. Glad you've been able to join us tonight. And for the whole regular season, we look forward to joining you in the playoffs. Have a great rest of your weekend.